So I'm representing this clearing cross entanglements on 3D as we didn't get a good recording last time. So we're going to just really just cut to it. So cross entanglements in 3D occur with family, obviously friends and community, individual groups that we get involved in, religions, countries, teams, ancestral lines, races, but the main thing that we're gonna address here is planetary karmic enrollment. And by this I mean that humankind has had an alteration in their DNA that keeps them in this patterning of coming back over and over and over again to learn lessons. And we want to learn lessons through having a lot of traumatic experiences. And maybe we get to resolve something with someone. Well, this is just, it's taking the whole earth down, and it's time just to stop it. We just need to jump off of the bus and onto the waveform unkarmic ride. And what's interesting about that is you go, well, I'm really attached to my family and I love them so much. And I love, whatever it is you love here. Well, you're not really loving things in the pure sense if you're attached to them. And you're not promoting a loving world if you're entangled with this world. And we are definitely in a process of not only untangling, but actually putting ourselves in a position where we can create a world that is not entangled, but it's interconnected. It's interconnected with love. So humanity is just staying stuck in this 3D via entanglement. And here's the deal. It's taking the whole planet down. We're really stuck in this whole survival cycle. We want to survive, so we want to belong. And so we look to leaders in various forms to give us that feeling of security. And there is very big power struggles going on all the time, energetically. And of course, we see it via, the financial structures and the, shall we say, resource structures. If we look at everything, it comes down to power and money. So as the IC, the Immortality Club, we are going to structure our work to clear, as an example, for 3D entanglement. So what I'm finding is that as groups of people are doing specific work, it opens that work up to other beings. And then there is enough energy there for there to be a shift. Then our me becomes we, and that is how we become free. So we want to make sure we keep our IC entanglements, our group, if we want to say it, or our field, I prefer that, entanglements to a minimum. And so we're going to engage in a clearing right now. So if you're listening to this, I want you just to tune into this field that we've been cultivating for quite some time. Gosh, I know this run is about 15 years. So we want you just to tune in and know that there are other amazing beings who are joined in with you right now. And we've already succeeded in clearing quite a bit out of the field, but we want you to bring your beingness to the field right now. And what I'm doing is I'm actually moving out beyond time to feel you, to sense you. And inviting you right now to, if you will, observe your entanglement with your own spiritual ideology, whatever that can be, whatever theories you have, whatever beliefs you have, whatever expressions of relationship to deity, all of that, that's entanglement. And bring yourself to this moment right now and let that all go. Hey, all right. Now you keep that working while we continue. So an entanglement has two manifestations. In 3D, it is these entanglements, and we're going to get a little bit more into how they look and where they originate from. Very interesting where they originate. But our way of dealing with them is to observe them in time space. Observe those entanglements, those enmeshments, those attachments that we have to things with self-love. Very critical that we do this with self-love. Think about that for me. Okay. Self-love, like, yeah, I'm entangled with so-and-so, X, Y, and Z happen. But you know what? I love myself, and we're going to just see how this unfolds. Meanwhile, to enhance your quantum crystalline entanglement, you don't want to do that with the real true essence of love. And we're talking about quantum love. And you get to this, an easy way to get to this is to call in the I ams. Because the I ams are even a higher vibration, if you will, and they have an uplifting effect. As all avatars who've come to this planet have had an uplifting effect on humanity just by their presence, just by their vibration. Now, in the past, we've been talking a little bit about this subquantum level. It's the level between 3D and 5D. Okay, so in earthly karmic entanglements, we've got control, we've got power over, we've got abuse, we've got division. So divide to conquer. You want to control people, you divide them. You want to keep people down, you abuse them. You want to enhance your power over them, you do all of these things. All right. But it's interesting that a lot of these inclinations come from the subquantum level between 3D and 5D. So what we're doing now is we're beginning to tune into 5D quantum, and we're beginning to work with those entanglements. Okay, so what we're doing is we're engaging on the quantum when we work together. So in other words, we're not really here and involved with each other on a personality level. We are solely working on the quantum. And most of you have never met everybody. You've met some, but not everybody. So you're just working, we're working collectively as non-personalities, but as soul frequencies to bring together a field, to enhance it with our intention, to allow for guidance to come in, to observe, resolve, dissolve, spiritually evolve, ascend, and then love. So that's our process here. We just observe what we're to do on in a weekly basis, and then whatever we're guided to do, we resolve and evolve. So when we're working with the 5D quantum, we're actually starting to bring in very specific frequencies. Hi, this is Dr. Valerie Gerard, and we're really going to put our attention on clearing cross entanglements on the 3D. And if you're not sure what a cross entanglement is, please refer to previous videos that I've posted so that you get an idea on how important it is that we engage in this work. Okay, cross entanglement. So this, as we've said before, this has to do with attachments and enmeshments and addictions, relationships, family, friends, groups, religions, teams, work situations, entanglements with country, entanglements with racial groups, ancestral lines. But the big one that we want to talk about as well, because you need to be working on those, everybody, and just go refer to our previous work so that you get a sense of it. But today we're going to talk about planetary karmic enrollment. So one thing that I've realized, I'm being guided to understand, is that humanity is in a, shall we say, a karmic rut. And this idea is that, oh, you come to Earth to learn some lessons, and isn't that lovely? And, whatever you didn't learn, you just come back, you just come back, you just come back. But if you look at humanity, it's not really evolving as a whole. It's going the other direction right now. We're not selecting leaders throughout the world that uplift. They more uplift themselves and take what they can. I mean, and that's a lot across the board. There's some exceptions. What is going on does not serve humanity or the planet. That's what I'm actually a little bit more concerned about, is the planet itself. It's been here much longer than we have. And if you look at all of that, if we're entangled here in the entanglement, we can't ascend. It's that simple. So this is why we are being avidly instructed to disentangle ourselves. And it doesn't mean that you just stop relating to people. In fact, how you begin to relate to people is even more true and authentic, because it's going to be based in something else besides survival, need, want, desire. So, as the IC, we're going to, by example, work and clear our own entanglements. And we've already started this work, some of you know. And we're going to take a moment here for those who are just tuning in to have the experience of disentangling. So I want you to close your eyes for me. And I want you to tune into our field. Our field is definitely upgrading. Definitely upgrading. And I'm sharing this field with you right now. Allow yourself to become aware of this field. And I'd like you to drop in to your thoughts or belief systems about the work that we're doing. Just note them. I'd like you to drop into your entanglements with the outside world that keep you from committing to your own ascension process. And this is what the IC is 100% for your ascension process. So I want you to tune into the field. And I want you to see that the field is starting to organize itself in a very particular way. There you go. And attune yourself to the field. And allow the field to attune you. And I want you to feel the pulse of it on the quantum. There you go. And this is being transmitted in a more elevated dimension than time space. So it's right here, right now for you. And release your entanglement, whatever is coming up. Now, in this, when we work, we bring our me to become we. And that is going to allow us to be free. So just continue to stay tuned to that. I'm going to give you a little bit more information here that hopefully will help you. And as I said, we want to keep our IC entanglements to a minimum, and we want to have the clearest field possible. So entanglement actually has a very positive connotation, as it has I'm going to not say a negative one, but a deterrent manifestation. And the deterrent one is everything that I mentioned. Our energy gets pulled away, and if you think about a ball of string that is made up of 7 different types of things, and someone's gotten in and just tied it all together, and it's hard to pull apart. That takes a lot of energy to maintain that. And that's why we're looking at these ways that 3D keeps pulling us down into 3D from the vibration of 5D. And when we talk about 5D, we also include 6D, which is a crystalline underlay, shall we say, that has a much greater power in unification. And we'll see that as time goes on. So when we work to enhance the quantum crystalline through our work in the IC, we're doing it with the love, 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 and the I am. Those are just 2 of the ways that we're working. Okay, now in previous sections, we've seen that there is a gap between 3D and 5D. And I'm going to tell you, I have to hold a lot in 3D because I have a patient practice and I have many other commitments in my life. I've got other jobs. So sometimes the 3D is pulling me over here and the 5D is really, because I am a 5D being now. So I'm being pulled in these 2 directions. And sometimes that gap is extensive. Now I've been able to travel into the gap and see actual energetic frequencies that are not to our benefit. This is a I call it subquantum or 4.5 gap. It's the gap between 3 and 5D. And it's here that there's some very strong non-human control factors that are actually causing the disarray of energy and function on this planet right now. And so here you are, you're doing some of your work, you're observing and engaging, and you're doing the work, and then something just pulls you down. Okay. And then that gap feels like it gets wider. But as we commit to doing this work, what starts to happen is we're going to be clearing more and more. And that gap, I'm going to tell you, the gap is narrowed. It is narrowed. And I'm going to tell you something that happened today. I saw the gap go to nothing today. And I'm just going to share this because I haven't shared it with anybody. A being came in today in a female form, and there was something different about her eyes. And I kept working with her, and she was spiritually oriented, called to come back to Santa Barbara area. And I worked on her. And all of a sudden I saw that she was a crystalline being. She doesn't know it, but I saw it. Later, someone came in and said, hey, something is going on. Something just shifted. What just happened? What just happened? I said, well, do you want me to take a look? And as I was looking, I was getting referenced to this crystalline being saying, what you've been saying and seeing is here's proof. And as I was viewing that, 5D and 3D came together in this second being. So the left side was 5D and 3D was on the right side, but there was no gap. There was no gap. And when she got off the table, she went, oh my God, I'm here. She felt here, very, very present, which is what you feel when you go 5D. So what's happening now is we're working with our spiritual hacks when we want to be in 5D, and it's all there, all the videos. You just got to go back and look at, can't do it all now, but you can narrow the gap whenever you're feeling the pull of something with do and I am love, I am peace, I am freedom, I am one. Those are the ones we're working with. Or if you work with avatar frequencies, the Christos, the Buddha, Tara, Gaia, etc., work with those avatar frequencies, use your spiritual hacks, dissolve whatever you can, whatever's coming up, all the entanglements, and then you're going to allow this, you're going to be participating in this transitioning to 5D New Earth. And I saw something happen today, and I had just the way it went down, I knew that something went into an upgrade today. Okay, so then when we work, sometimes we actually get into 6D, and that is that crystalline frequency. It's a whole different level of organization. It's very amenable to transmission of frequencies, and it really can't hold negative frequencies. It just can't. So that is our matrix that we're ascribing to, and it's a over matrix through this new Earth evolutionary process, but it's going to hold it together. It's necessary for the Earth to go. It's just like we say 3D, but then there's this other dimension. It's called 4D, and it's time. We don't see time. We see 3D. We don't see time, but it's there. We can't live without time in 3D. So the crystalline network will be that network that will give us that upgrade to be able to hold this frequency of true, authentic quantum love. And again, it will narrow that gap, not only for you, but for other beings. Eventually, then you're going to get the whole QC interconnectivity. It's going to be love, and the new Earth is going to find its way into manifestation. Now, some beings say, "Oh, there's going to be 3 days of darkness." I don't really know. I don't care. I just know that I have to live in the moment, and I have to live the moment to be in this purpose. And sometimes it feels really hard. Yeah, sometimes it feels really, really hard, especially when we experience things that are going on in the earth, when we have catastrophes, when we lose someone we love. Those are real things. But then we have to come back. We have to come back to our work. And I want you to feel into that. And I want you to come and participate with us. Because this is all there is. I have so much choice about what I could be doing in my life right now. This is it. And I'm going to see it through to the best of my ability. And I'm asking you, and I think those of you who are watching this to this part are committing to that in this version or another version. It doesn't matter. This is one very select channel. The guidance is coming through weekly, big chunks. So here's the deal. Accept your 5D, 6D ascension process is real. To say, you know what, it's real. I mean, I got a big today saying you need a little uplift here to help you understand on a physical level that how this is happening. So that two-part process with those two beings. And actually, there's many people who are coming in now who are getting that, who are responding to the little upticks that are coming through for them. So prepare to shift. Just say, I'm going to shift. I'm shifting now to 5D. In this moment, I'm shifting to 5D. And visualize elevating, actually being lifted up, actually getting lighter, actually just your vibratory vehicle vibrating at a much higher frequency that gravity doesn't affect you. Utilize the spiritual hacks that we've put forth. If you get stuck, love, love, love. If you want to really elevate, love, 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 love. It's just, those two are just so easy. And then you got to detach. You got to practice non-attachment and lighten up. And there's going to be moments that you get pulled down, but you just gotta lighten up. And it's not necessarily this, but when you really shift into love and presence, you will find that you have the feeling of lightening up. And then elevate consciousness to 5 and 6D with the IC. It really helps to do it in a group. Find your group. If it's not this group, find your group. It really helps to elevate if you have a group to do it. And in this process, yes, I'm bringing through information, and yes, I'm holding the vibration, but it's a we. It's not a me. It's a we to be free. All right, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me, Dr. Valerie Gerard. Up leveling. Up leveling. This is our moment. Do you know someone who really would resonate with this? Share it. And if you want to join us, there's the email right there. Okay. All right. Namaste.